Okay, welcome back again. We're now going to assign our resources to their associated tasks. So in our previous videos, we entered our resources, and in the last video, we created resource calendars for Anne, who works a 4-day week, and Peter, who has a training day in his calendar. So now it's time to move back to the Gantt chart to assign resources. So to move between the resource sheet and the Gantt chart, you need to use the drop down here on the left hand side. You need to be on the task tab or the resource tab in order to see that drop down. The Gantt chart is the second item on that drop down list. So that brings us back to our Gantt chart, and now we're going to start assigning our resources. So we have a list of the resources and the tasks that they work on. The first row of that table of information tells you that Anne works on view premises. So there's two ways of assigning a resource. One way is to double click on the associated task. So view premises, you can go to the resources tab, and you'll see here that in your underneath resource name, if you click here, you get a drop down that allows you to choose Anne as the associated resource and OK, and Anne is then assigned. You notice that Anne now appears in the resource name column. So a faster way of assigning resources, so taking the next task, meet with directors, if you use the column rather than the task dialog box, you choose the drop down, and this activity has two people working on it, Anne and Peter. So we tick Anne, we tick Peter, and we hit return. Anne and Peter are both assigned to that task. It's important to note that if two people work on a task, you need to assign those two people simultaneously. If you assign one and realize there's a mistake and you need to assign another, the recommendation I would have is that you delete the one that's already assigned, and then you come out of the task, you go back into the task and you assign the two simultaneously. It can avoid some complications with Microsoft Project. So we go on down. Sign lease is Anne. Premises found is just a milestone. It doesn't have anyone associated with it. Order boxes is Anne. Get quotes is Peter. Finalize move is Anne. Move arrange is a milestone, so we can ignore. Distribute boxes is Peter, and boxes. So for now, we're just going to assign Peter. We'll come back and assign the boxes later. Pack boxes is both Anne and Peter, so we drop down and we choose Anne and Peter. Disconnect computers is also Anne and Peter. So a little trick to that one: when you have the same two people assigned to two tasks, one underneath another, you can go to the bottom right hand side here and drag the assignment down, so Anne and Peter are gone on down to the next task as well. Move with truck is movers and shakers, so we're going to assign movers and shakers, but we will be coming back to that again later. And then we have a milestone, and then reconnect computers is Anne and Peter. So Anne and Peter, we tick them both, we hit return. They also are responsible for unpacking the boxes, so we can drag that down. And when it comes to celebrate, it's Peter and Anne and the director. So we just now need to revisit two of the resource assignments. The first of those is movers and shakers, our truck company. So that's the task move with truck. If we double click it, you'll see on the resources tab, the resource name movers and shakers is already there because we've assigned the resource. But over here on the right hand side, we haven't yet inserted the cost, and we were given a cost of €450 for the move with truck. So we enter €450, we hit return, and then we can hit OK. And now if you drag the resource column over, you'll actually see the €450 begin to appear. So we've put in the cost of the truck company. The second resource that we need to have another look at is the boxes. The boxes were assigned to the distribute boxes task. So if we double click the distribute boxes task, at the moment on the resources tab, you'll see Peter is assigned, but boxes are not yet assigned. So if you go down to the second row under resource name, choose the drop down menu and choose boxes. You've now assigned boxes to the task, and over here under units, currently it says 1 box. We've been told that we're going to use 150 boxes for our move, so we put in 150 and we hit return, and now 150 boxes have been assigned to that particular task. You'll see that appear on your resource name column also. So they're the two slightly different resources. I would recommend that you use the task dialog box to assign material and cost resources such as boxes and movers and shakers. The last thing you're told then is this weekly meeting. All three of them attend the weekly meeting. Make sure you expand the meetings and assign them at the level of each individual meeting. So we tick Anne and Peter and the director. We hit return, and like before, go to the bottom right here, and we can click and drag and assign them to the other 4 meetings. So they're assigned to all 5 meetings. So that's the assigning of the tasks, the resources to their tasks. A couple of things just to be careful of, as I said, is if you're assigning 2 people to an activity or to a task, assign them simultaneously, otherwise delete and assign them simultaneously again. It can avoid problems. You bring your mouse to the bottom right hand corner and you can drag down an assignment if that's appropriate. And as I say, the resource name column here is probably the most efficient way of assigning your resources. So that's point number 16, assigning your resources to the associated tasks.